It's day 6. We're in Chattanooga. Man, yesterday's drive, freaking epic. If you haven't watched the video for yesterday, go watch that because Tail of the Dragon, we did this parkway. It was freaking amazing. And what's crazy is when we got down here, all the tree leaves were green. We're like, oh, we don't get fall colors. Literally before our eyes, we've watched the fall colors happen. The start of the drive yesterday, the trees were green. By the end of the drive, the leaves were falling off the trees. I mean, how much can you do? It was a long drive, but I mean, definitely amazing. But now we're gonna race in Chattanooga. Then we gotta drive from here, wrap the whole thing up in Huntsville. Your 6th summer registration is next week. Like, go get on expression of interest. And next year, everybody's asking, we can do this again. We're not. Like, we're not doing it next year because expression of interest is open for both 6th summer with registration open the next week. You also have Michigan Miles happening, and you have 666. It's the 100-year anniversary of Route 66. So that's happening next year. That's our next year's schedule. So go fill out those expression of interest. And that way, instead of watching the videos, you'd be watching these after the week's over, but you'd be with us all week long because there is nothing that is a substitute for actually being here because it is just amazing. The group of people is amazing. But hey, I don't want to be all sentimental. Let's get to racing today. Let's go.
The last 3 days just wanted to get a full pass in. Knowing I had more shutdown, I was not as worried as getting on the chutes this time, so I worried about driving it. I drove it, man. It was still pulling hard left and bouncing all over, but got it through. So yeah, went 460 with a 4. That's my fastest, new PB for myself, which I love. Yeah, so all good again. Loving this. I came down here to go testing. Like most of this, I don't mean it the wrong way, but I'm testing. I'm trying to learn things on a car, and the weather's so nice, the tracks are right, and I'm using a short game to figure it out. So yeah, everything we try, you know, we review the videos and look at it, like, all right, let's try this, and it works, and then it works, and then it works, and then we'll throw more power, and it doesn't work, so then we'll try something else, you know. So yeah, it's just slowly picking away at it. From a 69 on day 1 to a 60 today, that's a great improvement over a week. So you know I want that 59 with a 9 tomorrow. You know that's what I'm after. Heading back to Huntsville, the track we started at. Nervous as hell to make that last 150-mile rip back to the track. If I can get to the track and at least stage, I'll be good. If I can rip off a 4:59 with a 9, I will be ecstatic. So, but yeah, just trying to wrap up this event, man.
This is how bad it was. This morning we had to be drugged here by another racer, which means that we're still eligible to race.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good, thanks. I saw you towing the Datsun along this morning.
Yeah, we got over a couple beers. I got nominated to do that, I guess. So we had to go pick him up this morning, I think over the Hampton Inn, and drag him over. I think he was on the 2-step a little too long or something like that and popped the head gaskets out of it. So Jimmy Dale's down there now. I think should be. They got gaskets that are down there getting it ready to go. And he said it should be close to an LS. He's more familiar with the LS stuff than the Ford. I said, well, everybody says the Ford is based around the LS is based around the Ford engine, so they should be all right. We only got one more drive, so I think whatever they get themselves into, they'll make it for the rest of the week. So
how can we book your towing service?
Well, you just got to get me a couple Miller Lights and say, hey, I need a tow to the track. And I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. So yeah, that's the way that works.
It's just peeing out of the head there, bud. You see the water falling on the ground, Matt?
I thought it was raining.
No, it's not raining under the car.
I should have known the maturity level of our audience.
driving.
Well, someone turned the knob over 2 1/4 turns.
Yeah, 2 1/4. You need 2 turns. 2 turns.
Yeah, I remember we were.
Yeah. See, he was going. He wanted 3.
See,
Yeah,
now,
we were 2
now you're
1/4,
getting
2
no
1/2.
turns. Now you're getting no turns after we do this. 0 turns. The last day you can get.
You
3
got
turns.
MLS gaskets in there. You can put all the turns in it now.
These are actually supposed to be connected. In theory, you connect those two and it makes a ring seal or a seal around the top of the cylinder head.
Was probably part of his problem.
This is not very well sealed, not sealed at all.
The good thing is these are like an LS, but they got more head bolts.
Okay.
That's really.
Nothing is holding that in place. Hold on. Before we do the same thing we did last night and pull the frickin'. Never mind.
But we gotta take it out anyway.
No, the dead stick.
It's out.
Just pull it out. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
We'll just put it back in. Just gotta go up underneath that.
Ow. That's not supposed to be there. See that? Look, see that? Not supposed to have water in that hole. Wrong hole.
We should mark the distributor, pull the cap, and mark it where it's all. Because we don't know what the timing is.
Right, you do that.
Timing is everything. See, that at least we kind of have an idea now. We'll just pop the cap off and then mark the cap, and we know the distributor will ish go in the right direction, right? Ish.
We got lucky that the hotel was so close, and then we got really lucky that this track has its own machine shop at the top of the hill. So we pulled the heads off. Mike made a phone call to the track owner, said, is there any chance you could have the heads milled? And he said, my cylinder head guy's on the way. So there he is right there. Zach. Zach?
Yes.
Heads are back on. It cracks right off, runs great. We're just kind of dancing around with the timing, trying to figure out where we want to be. Obviously, you've seen this thing shooting huge fireballs all week long. And we lost our fireballs, which isn't going to be the end of the world. It would be cool if we put it back together and it went as fast or faster than where we were at last time. And I think that's what we all want. We all want to go faster or as fast as we did 766 world record Rotsun right here. The only one in the world. So,
Something with a 7 at least.
something with a 7, yeah. If it went a 7 again, I'd be cool. If it went a 765 or faster, everybody here would feel like heroes, right?
The recap is that we got a set of SCE head gaskets brought to the track with the cut ring in them, and it was really late when we installed them. So it was like, I don't know, it was like 9. It was dark, couldn't see much, and we got it done, fired it back up about 10 o'clock, and which was the night before last? Yeah, fired it up about 10 o'clock, and water was pouring out of the side of the block, and it sounded like it was hammering. And I was like, man, it's hydro locked. It's been a ride. I was like, we're in trouble. So we made it from our parking spot at Knoxville Dragway to like next to the staging lanes. Is about as far as we made it, and we tore it all back down again. And we ended up having a buddy of mine that found a set of heads. He brought them to us. So we went to the hotel and got a nap and came back. He met us at the track at like 6 in the morning. And we put it all back together with another set of heads and a set of molly gaskets, and made yesterday's drive and today's drive all, or day before yesterday's drive and yesterday's drive all yesterday. And we showed back up at the hotel like 11 o'clock last night or something like that. So it's back together, it's running. We also checked verified timing, and timing is like 3 or 4 degrees off. So I think that's what's getting our head gaskets, is our tune is spicier than we thought it was. So we're going to back that down and try to keep the gaskets in it and make this thing go down the track.
Rich Guido's in trouble, isn't
Rich
he?
Guido's in trouble if that thing stays together.
We are second in class. We've been running low 640s all week. We ran a 649 Thursday. Then we jumped in the car, did a couple burnouts, and then headed back to the hotel. Woke up the next morning and our lug nuts were loose. So I tightened up the lug nuts. We headed down towards Tail of the Dragon and lost the rear tire. So the studs pulled out of the hub on the rear end. It's got a strange full float rear end, an old vintage one. So we spent about 5 hours on the side of the road yesterday fixing that.
Well, you hadn't got to the tail yet?
Hadn't got to the tail yet. We were getting close. We were about 11 miles from Napa, so we turned around and tried to head back. We made it about 3 miles and the wheel just fell off the car. Stripped all the studs off. So luckily, one of the fellow racers in the shorty van stopped, picked us up, gave us a ride. We went up to Tractor Supply, made some revisions to the setup, and we're back on the road, and we'll be running a 640 again today.
Well, you whack some more studs in it?
Yeah, we got some grade 8 bolts. We got a nice combination of stuff. Roadside repairs, that's what it's all about. It cracked the quarter panel just a little bit and busted a little piece of paint. So fortunately, no damage to the car. So we're back in it today and see what we can do.
My name is Jeff Sixt. I'm from Normal, Illinois. This is a 63 Studebaker Lark Daytona. And I found it almost 2 years ago as a roller, about an hour and a half from me. Originally it came from Wichita Falls, Texas. It was a bracket car down there about 20 years ago. And found a little history of it from down there. Not sure how it got up to Illinois, but I had this engine out from my 74 Nova that I did Drag Week 21 in. It was my first drag and drive event. And the transmissions out of my 75 Camaro that I've done several events in. And I just threw it all together and here I am. 20 years ago, the cage was certified as an 850 cage. I'll never go that fast. But the guy who back in the late 90s put this Giuliani chassis under it, and he put it together for his daughter to drive to high school. So that is a cool piece of this history of this car, and she loved driving it. Apparently it had the fuel cell in it back then too, because she ran out of gas a lot, and I have too. This week it's been running 750s. I'm not sure why it's slower. At home it's running 730. But it's supposed to go faster. I got a better converter in it. But it's been consistent. The street drive has been good but loud. I thought it would be a little quieter, but it just gets to you after a while. And the only thing I struggle with is the car, or the setup is a power steering gearbox for the steering, and I had to take the pump off the night before I left. So I'm struggling with non-power steering in a manual mode. So.
pretty good. Put your hands together if you like what the 6-inch motor's doing for you.
I'm Richard Sparks. I'm from Pekin, Indiana, a little town right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. It's a 1963 Rambler. It's got a really long name. It's an AMC Classic Rambler 770 cross-country station wagon. So Rambler really went all out when they named their cars. But I've had this car for about 3 years. I bought it. It was a stock Rambler right out of a barn. I did drive it on the trailer, but it didn't run real good. And my plans were always to make a gasser out of it. But I went ahead and fixed it up and got it running, put the interior in it and all that. And my wife and I enjoyed it for a couple of years. And then about 19 days before Power Tour 2024, the transmission went out. And it was old M11 Borg Warner. You're not able to get parts for those, at least not quick. And I had already collected just about everything I needed to make a gasser out of this car. So I decided, well, I'm not going to make it if I don't try. So I went ahead and without much sleep, probably in 19 days, I had about 20 hours of sleep and fabricated everything, built this car. My wife and I took it off the lift at 4 a.m. first day of Power Tour and took it untested straight to Bowling Green and long hauled the whole trip in it. I've probably put about 5,000 miles on the car since then. There were some things that I didn't get to because I had to build it so quick that I wanted to get ready before this trip. And so I thrashed for about 2 months, just tying up some loose ends on it, getting it ready to go. And so I'm gonna hit the road. It's a 350 small block Chevy. It's got a, it's not real powerful yet, that's gonna come later, but it's got a 61 Ford Econoline straight axle, straight out of a junkyard. Still got the rust on it from where it sat in the field, but I did replace all the bushings and all the tie rod ends and the kingpins and all that in it, and the brakes and everything are new. But it's got a Muncie M20 transmission, Ford 9-inch rear end. The rear end actually came out of my 73 Mach 1 that I drove to high school. I still have that car, but it's being built into a Pro Street drag car right now. So this thing's got 28 spline axles in it, so Detroit locker. It's got about 1 billion launches on it on the street. So I was kind of worried about my axles, and I'm hammering it pretty hard. It's not real fast, but I'm giving it all the beans it can handle. And I had a personal best the last track we were at, so I shaved a 10th off from the first 2 tracks, and it's doing good for me. I'm real happy with it. I'm proud of the car. It's real dependable. It's going to be faster at some time going forward, but we'll have to put some go fast parts in it first.
Today's shirt is
Bob Miller.
Bob Miller. We love Bob.
Because if he can't fix it,
I heard that you might have proposed to your girl at the Tail of the Dragon. What happened?
so I had a plan for like the last 6 months doing one of the overlooks, and we rolled through and it was all full. So ended up getting to Deal's Gap and dropped the one knee and asked her to marry me, and she said yes.
So, congratulations, sir.
It's awesome, and it's all because of Tom Bailey, honestly.
We went a PB to the 60 foot right there. Faster than we've ever been to the 60 foot by over half a tenth. So if we match that 60 foot with the full pass that we made yesterday at 750 or 760, then we would be faster than what we've been so far. That's what we're gonna try to do.
So you pulled all the weight out of it?
We got every speck of weight we could find and made a huge mess of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the absolute mystique of the brewery, and then facing the amateur. Can win another 10 for the contest. See that? So 797, 79 miles an hour.
Tell me, do you want to eat? You do? Or you want to go play with puppies? Which one? No, you got to make up your mind. Whisper. Tell me. Okay, thank you. She wants to play with puppies. You gotta be around her to know.
Stopped here at Ace's EFI, and they were gracious enough to give us a chili dog and Fritos and a Mountain Dew, and we're all ready to go, and we came over here to start the car, and no spark. So we're trying to figure out why we've got no spark. It could be the MSD box. We noticed the oil coming out of the coil. Swap coils. We don't have any positive to the coil. So we're thinking it's the MSD box at this time. The cam sensor and the crank sensor are working. So right now we're going to try and verify if the MSD box is a problem. I brought a spare antique one, and we're going to see if we can get this to do something.
That's great.
And otherwise, we're only 1,200 miles from home. We're golden.
Everything's gonna be all right. We're gonna be good.
That was awesome, man.
Jeff Morris. I'm from Lakemont, Georgia. It's in the northeast corner of Georgia in the mountains. And this project is a 1964 Chevy Nova wagon that sat in my garage for about 10 years, waiting for me to retire from my trucking work. Once I retired, about 3 years ago, I could finally get the car running. And I took it to the drive-in, and I noticed that the kids were playing in the playground. They were bored, waiting for the movie to start. When I saw them starting to fight each other because they were so bored, I said, come on over here, because the car's in primer, you can just draw on it. I got markers. So that it was the first time I let the kids draw on the car. And it became a regular thing at the drive-in. And then after that, it became a regular thing at car shows. After that, it became a regular thing at Power Tour. And now it's become a thing at Sick Smokies. And so we'll see if it becomes a continuing trend. I seem to have my own lane here. Nobody else, to my knowledge, is really doing anything quite like this. So it's been fun. I get a lot of customers, that's for sure. And these kids are great. They keep me young. I'm going to be, my next birthday, I'll be 70, and so they keep me young, that's for sure.